Okay, so it's like literally 86 degrees outside. However, the person in control of the central air, I don't know what's wrong with the guy. So I went and spoke to him. I was like, hey, listen, it's really, really cold in here. I'm dressed like this. He's like, it's not cold in here. I don't feel cold at all. In fact, you're the only one that's complaining. You know, what, are you crazy or something? See, that's gaslighting. You know damn good and well it's cold in here. You're just actually trying to make me think that it's not cold. Now, what I just gave you was just a way of explaining what gaslighting is all about. And a couple of those things that I've said you might have heard before, like you're crazy, or, you're just making, a big thing out of nothing. You're the only one that's complaining. Gaslighting is one of the favorite tools of manipulators, especially narcissists. They need to twist your reality. And in this video, I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into it and show you just why gaslighting is very dangerous to the abused, to the victim, okay? And how the actual abuser puts it into practice. So let's get started. I'm thinking, now it's because it's cold in here. It's really cold.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
So yeah, the sweater, it wasn't a prop. It really is cold in here. So if you've ever felt like you're losing your grip on reality, this video is definitely for you. So let's start from the beginning. Gaslighting is not just lying. It's a calculated distortion of your reality. See, the manipulator is trying to distort your reality, make you doubt yourself. It makes you question your memory. Okay, I've experienced this. And many of you have in a small way, not just with narcissistic relationships. Sometimes we come in contact with people that actually, to avoid accountability, they will try to make you feel like you're not understanding or you didn't get exactly what happened. It makes you question your memory and your instincts. See, this is when it becomes super dangerous. You're starting to question your own memory. It's kind of crazy when you see something or you hear something or you say something and you have someone that's telling you, no, you didn't. No, you did not. You must be going senile. There's no way in the world you would have said that. I would have remembered that. And what that does is psychologically it messes with you. And what happens, and this is why it's so nefarious how narcissists use this, especially in relationships, because you're dealing with a person that you're supposed to trust. A person is supposed to have your best interests in mind, and here they are telling you that you didn't say something, or you didn't hear something, or you didn't do something. And deep down inside, deep down in the very core of your being, you know that you said, heard, or did that thing. But now what's starting to happen is you're starting to doubt yourself because your brain is working overtime. It's like, why would I distrust this person? This is supposed to be my partner. This person is supposed to have my best interest in mind. Why would I doubt them? Maybe I did misread that, or maybe I did not say that, or maybe I didn't see that. So yeah, it's very dangerous when it comes like that. And it usually starts off small, because as a person that has definitely survived a narcissistic relationship, I notice, as I look back, I notice the small ways it started. It's always a joke like, oh my goodness, you don't remember that? Oh, you can ask anybody that was there. You actually said that. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, no, I didn't. I wouldn't have even said something like that. But again, you go back to the fact of, this person is supposed to be my partner. This person said they love me. Why would this person try to distort my reality? This actually plays on your nervous system, okay? And the reason why it plays on your nervous system is, let's just make believe, okay? Let's make believe, and you might even be the CEO of a huge company. So you are making decisions on the fly, day after day. Everybody is depending on you making the right decision. What if one day you come into work and you can't remember Or you're asking your underlings, like, did I say that? I'm not sure if I said that, but I think I would have said that. It sounds like something I would have said or something that I would have done. Did I really do that? This is where it becomes dangerous, okay? Now, let's just take CEO out of the equation. Let's say you work in a nuclear power plant. Let's say you work at a missile control station. Doubting your reality, being unsure of yourself can be a super dangerous thing. And this is just one of the many scars that the narcissist leaves after they exit our life. And it's something that people deal with for years and years after, because you have to get your nervous system and your brain back in order to understanding, yeah, I made that decision, or yes, I did say that, and I'm going to stick by my guns. Before the narcissistic relationship, I'm going to tell you something. Remember the good old days when you were sure of yourself? As you spend more and more time with the narcissist, you become more and more unsure of yourself. And this is, again, calculated. This is done on purpose. The narcissist has a way of pushing and prodding to figure out just how far they can go and their need to destroy you. And we're going to get a little bit more into that, I guess, in part 2.
Perhaps we're asking the wrong questions.
So, gaslighting doesn't just distort your mind. It starts to break down your nervous system, as I outlined before. Here's the deal. When your nervous system is not regulated, okay, when you always feel anxious, when you always feel unsure, it has the potential to put you in a constant state of fight or flight. We all understand, we learned this like in 6th grade, what fight or flight is. This is where your mind and your body and your nervous system comes to the conclusion that, hey, listen, we have 2 choices here. Either we fight or we get in the wind and we run. We've got to get away from this threat. The narcissist actually becomes this threat, okay? And what they're doing is they are heightening this level of anxiety, this level of fight or flight. And I'm going to tell you something. This is what makes it super, super dangerous. There is no animal, no living organism on this planet that can stay in a constant state of fight or flight. Okay, because there's just too many chemicals going on throughout your body, to keep you in this stage. Remember, fight or flight means that, hey, we got to push this adrenaline out. We got to make sure that we can get in the wind and get far away from this beast that's chasing us. Hey, if we've got to stop, if we've got no place to go, we've got to make sure that we don't because of this beast. So we're going to have to fight with everything that we have in us. Imagine being in this state all of your waking hours. And then you wake up the next day and you're right back in that state. This is what makes narcissistic relationships so dangerous, especially for empaths, especially for those that are chosen. Okay? Again, I have to always remind you of this. Narcissists don't go after people that are doing nothing, that have no purpose, that have nothing valuable inside of them, that are not shining the light. Quite the contrary. Did I mess that up? Anyway, quite the contrary. I think I was thinking about Mortal Kombat and Quan Chi. I don't know. But anywho, what they do is they want to take the light away from you. Okay? And this is part of the reason why I definitely call it spiritual warfare, because we are literally dealing with demons. In the last video, I kind of mentioned, I don't think, your higher power or the universe would let something or someone this evil, okay, continue to coexist amongst regular folk, amongst people that are actually doing something, amongst people that actually want to have a real relationship. They want to love and be loved. Okay, but back to the whole gaslighting thing. So another thing that it does is it breaks down your self-confidence, okay? Because you'll soon find yourself apologizing for stuff that you know for a fact, deep down inside, that's not your fault. You have been tricked into taking on the blame for things that are definitely not your fault, much less even in your control. Okay, usually, let's say the narcissist starts like some havoc or some chaos, and you finally, you fold into reactive abuse. You basically, just lose it. Okay. and you're yelling and screaming right back with them. First off, you're just giving them the supply that they need because they need that emotional reaction. But what you are going to end up doing, if the narcissist has actually gotten to you, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to listen to them. They're going to say, I wouldn't have said or done this unless you did this, which more than likely you didn't do. Okay? What they need for you to do is they need you to doubt your reality. Now, most people, once they get into that stage, they're like, no, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do that. I didn't say that. That never happened. That's all in your mind. You started all of this craziness. That's what most people would do in that angry state, okay? Not when you're with a narcissist. You're going to start to doubt yourself. You're going to start to say, well, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Maybe I misunderstood what they were saying. Maybe, just maybe, I was kind of wrong. I was out of line. Even though you probably weren't, but you're going to apologize. Because you've been gaslit into accepting the fact that, hey, whatever this person that I love, whatever this person that I feel has my best interest in mind, why would they lie to me? And they keep this game going on for a very, very long time until they have you to where ups and downs, it doesn't matter. They can tell you the sky is purple. You know what? You got a point there. It does have a little purple tinge to it. Thank you. Thank you. And you think I'm making light of it, but it happens. People finally just like collapse from the strain of trying to figure out reality from the reality that's being fed to them. I think there's an old movie that this whole turn was based on, where this guy kept on turning off the lights and turning on the lights and telling the lady, because he just wanted the insurance money, telling the lady, oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. That didn't happen. That light's been on all night, or that light's been off all night. You know, and they're doing it because they want this person in the insane asylum so they can take all their money. Very greedy. Narcissists do it for a different reason, because they want to break you. Now, another thing, and this is very important, is it falls into, if you're unsure of yourself, if you're unsure of what's going on, how do you think that's going to affect your interpersonal relationships with your friends and family? See, it kind of helps them isolate you. Okay, because you don't know whether you're coming or going some days. You're actually, at some points, there have been some people that have been in narcissistic relationships that they don't make a move until they confer with their abuser. Okay, because they need confirmation from the person that they love, that they think loves them, that they're doing the right thing. This is what makes narcissistic abuse so evil. Okay, because you have one person that is in a relationship, or at least believes that they're in a relationship, based off of the fact that a relationship is where two people grow and get to the next level. Whereas the reality is that person is in a relationship between themselves, and their mind. Because the narcissist is not in a relationship. The narcissist is waiting for the time that is going to be simple enough to break and discard you. Okay, this is how they fill the void within them. They need to break and discard. Go back to the video that I made like last week. Okay, the only option you have is to get out. Okay, because there's no side road, there's no turn-off point, there's nothing. Okay, once you realize, once you understand that you're in a narcissistic relationship, just by me talking about this, there is somebody right now watching this video, and please put it in the comments that says, hey, listen, I've experienced this. You know, with somebody, oh, you're too sensitive, or, you know, you're just drama-filled, or my favorite that I heard time after time, you just want to start an argument. No, boo-boo, I'm talking about how I feel. I'm not trying to start an argument, because there was a time period where that would work, where I would pull back instead of discussing what was on my mind, instead of discussing my feelings, instead of discussing my truth, I would pull back, because automatically as an empath, I would feel, well, if this person feels that I'm always trying to argue, then maybe I am actually bringing a wound to them. Maybe I should pull back and recircle back at a more optimal time. There is no optimal time. The narcissist never wants to take responsibility or accountability for their actions. So you'll never find the right time, you know? So yeah, it becomes, you know, part of, I guess, your day-to-day life of being gaslit. And once they've actually picked, prodded, got to understand, you know, just how to get you to be gaslit, to get you to accept their reality, they just up the ante. And like I said, there are certain people that are in narcissistic relationships that don't make a move, don't do anything unless they confer with this person. Okay. One of the things that I hear a lot, and I'm going to get into that and probably the next video, is, you know, hey, listen, you know, it seems like this is a mental problem that this person has. This is considered a disorder. Is there any way that, you know, I love them, so is there any way that I can help them? Can I help them get better? Can, you know, are there good doctors out there that can help? Are there good meds out there that can help them? And I'm going to get into that in the next video, but I got to finish this video out first. All right, so let's go and get this closed out.
It's impossible. I didn't say it would be easy. I just said it would be the truth.
Stop. All right, so we went over a lot, and it's still very cold, and I'm going to have to speak to dude, and I'm going to have to show and prove. Maybe I'll ask Alexa to tell me what the temperature is outside and versus what's going on inside, so that he will understand that, hey, listen, it is really cold, and no, I don't care what anybody else says. But we covered a lot so far in this video in this short amount of time. We understand gaslighting, we understand what it does, how it affects us, and we understand how the narcissist uses gaslighting as a very effective tool. You're going to notice in the beginning stages, in the fog stage, is when they start testing how far they can go with gaslighting or twisting your reality. Whenever you catch on to them, it becomes, oh, I was just joking with you. You can't take the joke. Why are you so serious all the time? These are things that I would hear, you know, quite often, as my body still understanding that, hey, listen, you know, hey, this person I'm just getting to know, you know, is actually giving me warning signs. See, the narcissist knows and understands that we're going to get warning signs. It knows, you know, being an empath, that we're going to get warning signs. It just needs us to not act on them. It needs us to actually push them to the back burner. Hence, the love bombing stage, which is often called the fog, is where we have basically told our brain, hey, listen, we're having too much fun here. Don't ruin this for me. I'm having way too much fun. I'm enjoying myself. And your nervous system in your brain is telling you, like, dude, Will Robinson, danger, danger. You are in freaking danger. And you're just pushing it aside. But there is a way to get through it, okay? When I started to notice that I was apologizing for stuff that there's no way in the world that I wouldn't even think of doing, I came up with a plan. And the first thing is that you have to, whenever you feel that nagging feeling like, nah, that's not right, I wouldn't have done that, or I wouldn't have said that, or I know for a fact that didn't happen, you have to start, I guess, capturing your truth would be a way to say it. You have to begin the process of capturing your truth. You can journal, you can be like me. What I did was, since New Jersey, where I live at, is a one-party consent state, I just hit record on my phone. And you would be surprised at the amount of times when I didn't say anything, they didn't know I hit record, they had no freaking clue, how when the subject will come up again, I'm like, no, you didn't say that, or no, you didn't do that, or no, I didn't do that, or no, I didn't say that. You know, you'd be surprised, oh, yes, you did. They would literally swear on a stack of Bibles, that's exactly what happened. And then I would say, by the way, I have that whole incident recorded. Then it becomes even further gaslighting. Oh, why would you record me? I thought that we were in a relationship. Well, my thinking is, why wouldn't I record you if all you do is lie to try to twist my reality? This usually pissed them off. Okay, it really did. Then I'd hear stuff like, why would people in a relationship record each other? I think that's so slimy. But then again, I'm saying in the back of my head, why would you lie? Why would you lie and then try to get me to believe said lie? See, that's where it becomes dangerous. You don't have to go that far, and before you start recording people, I'm going to tell you, check your state and county laws to make sure you're not breaking any laws, because you might find yourself in worse trouble if it's not a one-party consent type of town. Okay? But you can always journal. Okay? You can always journal and write down what happened. If you feel uneasy about something, just write it down. You know, if you are wrong about it, at least it was written down. However, if you're right about it, now you got proof. Okay, see, this is how you start freeing yourself and setting boundaries with the narcissist, where they feel uncomfortable with trying to gaslight you. Because as long as they feel comfortable, they're going to keep on doing it. Okay, another thing that you can do is, first of all, you got to stop separating yourself from people. Okay, video before I talked about that. Stop it. Okay, when you have friends and family members that actually love you, okay, not love you until they get a chance to break you, but actually love you, that were probably around before this narcissist came along, you know, you need to start speaking with them. Okay, if you feel that they're safe, speak to them. You know, I just had a discussion with what's the name, this happened, blase, blase, boom. Can you just do me a favor? Just keep this in the back of your mind, just in case it comes up again. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't tell a narcissist, because they're going to take offense to it, because you are slowly chipping away at their mask. You are slowly uncovering them, and they hate that. No, seriously, they hate that. Okay, they will go out of their way to try to punish you. Okay, once you start making that mask, that beautifully crafted image that they've created, start to crack, oh Lord, they're going to come after you. Trust me, they're going to come after you with all the fury possible. They're coming up after you. Okay, so, you know, confide in people that you consider to be safe. Okay, journaling is so very important because it keeps your sanity and it keeps the facts in line. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. A narcissist will go on the Supreme Court, swear on a stack of Bibles, say, hey, Mr. Chairman, and do all this stuff and lie. You know, it's like they have to lie. It's like they can't help themselves. Okay, especially if it means that they're going to be able to distort your reality. This part of the reason why they can't be cured, this part of the reason why they can't be helped, is because their first reaction, if they're sitting in front of a psychiatrist or they're sitting in front of a therapist, their first thing is, let me gaslight this person. Let me make this person think that I am this thing that I have this mask on over. Okay? Part of what you need to do, though, is when you start to feel unsure of yourself, you need to go find a quiet space and think it over. Okay? You've got to get back in touch with yourself. See, during this relationship, believe it or not, you have lost so much of yourself. The person that you used to be before you met this person, gone. Okay? I tell people you have to go back at least until the day before you met this person and try to get that person back. You know, CPR, resuscitate them, you know, the chest compressions. You know, you've got to do something. Okay, because the longer you stay in this relationship, the longer you go without setting boundaries, the longer that you just go along with it, they will get their wish. They will break you. Okay, there are so many people that have had their whole lives destroyed because of an individual that had nothing better to do with their life but to break someone else to make themselves feel important. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something. I talk about it all the time. The audiobook is literally freaking free. Okay, if you're on the fence, if you're watching this because you're curious, if you're trying to figure out what you're going through, if you're trying to figure out if you are indeed in a relationship with a narcissist, will you listen to the free audiobook? I say this often. It can't hurt anything whatsoever. Okay, because if you are in a narcissistic relationship, at least you'll start to awaken. If you're not, you got to listen to an enjoyable book. Nothing lost. Okay, but I'm more worried about the fact that if you're coming to look at my videos because you feel that something is wrong, then yeah, I need you to listen to the audiobook. Again, you can listen to, I think it's like 45 minutes to an hour long. You can listen to it on the commute to work and back from work and be done with it. Okay? Listen to the book. No More Chains. It was written from my pain, from a perspective of understanding like something ain't right here. Something isn't right. And it went all the way to the point to where I had to figure out that, you know what? This person has never loved me. This person just saw my light, moth to the flame, said, let me extinguish this light because this light is showing me what I am inside. You know, hey, I'm going to do more of these. I think the next one, I'm going to talk about why the narcissist is just stuck with being a narcissist for their whole life. You know, I think I'm going to make that the next video. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. Well, you can hold me to it because now you got video proof. So I can't gaslight you and say that I never said that. However, I got to go talk to this super because it just got a little bit colder. I think he overheard me and he's like, oh, you want to talk about me? I'm going to punish you. That's exactly what a narcissist will do. Hey, with that being said, Mr. Robinson, Church of Real Talk, please go get the freaking audiobook. It is completely free. I don't want your email address. I don't want you to come to a seminar. I don't want you to do any of that stuff. I just want you to take the audiobook and go ahead and heal, or at least begin the journey of healing. And the reason why I do this, love you guys.
You think it was just a bad relationship, but it wasn't just that. It was a soul theft. Narcissistic abuse leaves scars no one else can see, and sometimes the hardest thing to do is name what really happened. No More Chains is an unfiltered, soul-level audiobook for survivors who are done pretending it didn't happen. For those ready to turn silence into clarity and pain into power. If you're still questioning what they did to you, if you're still trying to figure out who you were before they broke you, start here. The audiobook is free, because your healing should never be a luxury. Your freedom isn't up for sale. It starts with truth. Download No More Chains today. Link in bio. Share it. Live it. Break free from the chains.